Send your wives to Target. Put your kids outside.
It's garage time. Kids outside, huh?
Yeah.
Just get rid of them.
Just
Send
go.
them out.
Just go.
Fall weather, it's beautiful.
It has been so nice.
They don't have to go outside and sweat, so you can put them outside.
You can. Yeah. The pool's closed.
Well, but now you can play football,
baseball still.
baseball,
Basketball.
basketball. Yeah, I mean, your kids use the driveway all the time.
Right. Yeah, and it's been so nice. Like the other morning I got up and I went for a run and it was like 46 degrees.
Oh, that had to feel
I was like, it is so nice out here. But then it's not going to last.
Yeah. So how far are you running in the morning?
So I'm building back up. Like I used to go to the gym and run a lot, and I'm trying to just lose some weight before I start weightlifting again. So I'm running. Right now, my split is run 5 minutes, rest 2 minutes, run 3 minutes, rest 90 seconds, repeat. So all in all, it's like 2 miles, but there's some walking periods in there. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah,
because I'm out of shape.
How about heart attack? Listen to you describe it.
Yeah, the other day, my run, which was the 5-minute segment, obviously I didn't keep it up, but it would have been like a 13-minute mile, which is not great, but considering the last time I ran was 4 years ago, it's pretty decent.
Well, a 37-year-old,
Yeah, torn ACL,
slightly overweight, torn ACL, meniscus, right? You have your meniscus in there.
Yeah.
Hasn't ran in 4 years. I'd say that's decent. No,
I'll take it.
I don't think I could run, so.
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough, yeah.
What was harder, the first or second day, or
Um,
getting motivated to even do it every day?
I feel like the first couple weeks were okay because the split started with like 60 seconds or 90 seconds, and like even though it was hard, it wasn't like brutal.
Right.
When it increased to 3 minutes, that's when I was kind of like, whoa. Right now, the 5 minutes is kind of long, and by the end of next week, there's actually like run 20 minutes straight, and that seems like that's probably going to be like the hump. Once I get past
That's where I'm gonna be. Yeah.
yeah.
So using a program you found somewhere? Or?
Couch to 5K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Couch
I did it.
5K. There we
Yeah,
go.
I did it once before. There was a time I was super thin and I was running like a 5K a couple of times a week and running a 7.5K, like not professionally, just like at the gym.
Right.
I've never run an official 5K, so I think I'm going to try to do that. But like I said, I'm just trying to lose weight, get into better cardiac health, and then I'm going back to weightlifting. So I just got to lose some weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's
Yeah, fall weather,
that's not where I
Kyle's
saw
running.
that going.
Flag football, JFL, high school football, NFL, college, it's all going.
Oh, it's awesome.
And yesterday I saw the first combine in the field.
Really?
So, yeah, if you go out 41 out of town, headed to 9 Mile Y, Kelso's are out.
Nice.
So, first combine's out. So it's officially here, fall.
The only bad thing is we've got this heat wave now at the end of this week. Like,
Yeah, but it's just supposed to be in the 50s overnight, so.
yeah, I think Saturday is supposed to be like 90 though.
Yeah,
I'm not-
Saturday's the worst one.
Yeah.
93, I think, something like that.
Yeah, not
So-
super pumped for that.
You know, you got that last week in the 90s, it always comes back, you know, and then that'll be it. You know, you'll have a day here and there where it'll hit 85, but
I'm not sure we can still call it that, but at one time they called it an Indian summer.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can't say that now, but I don't know.
Indian
what else-
summer it
I
is.
don't know what else to call it. So
Well,
a,
all 38 people that watch us might sue us, but
a commander summer. Is that what
There
we
you
can
go.
say now?
so let's get on to the unsolicited advice. So something big that is going on is celebrating of the routine play that you're supposed to make in sports. Whether it's a pop fly, fielding a ground ball, throwing somebody out at first, making a tackle, a stop that you're supposed to do, the three-pointer. And I'm over it. I'm sick and tired of it.
I unfortunately think this comes from the top down.
Oh, it
and
does,
like
100%.
I really didn't like when the NFL banned celebrations, like team celebrations
Right.
or even celebrations after a touchdown a few years ago. I was kind of glad to see him come back, but it's gotten a little excessive. like I think the other night I was watching and there was a big defensive play, which is great, that's fine. But the team that was playing was in a hurry up offense and the whole defense has to run down to the end zone and they've got to celebrate and they've got to be on camera and I'm like, it's not eating the clock, but it's still taking that moment away from there was a turnover, we've got the momentum, let's get on the field. Oh wait, you guys celebrate,
Yeah.
do duck duck goose or whatever the fuck you're doing.
Right. The touchdown doesn't bother me as much. It's the first down.
Yeah.
So I don't mind. You get a first down and you point. But when it comes out to this whole extravagant thing, honestly, it started with Cam.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big Cam Newton guy, but it started with him. Every Superman first down is like, dude, like, you got a first down. That's what you're supposed to do.
And I get it with like a sack, an interception, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, those are big plays.
It's the routine plays, you're right.
Yeah.
And last year, I think the big one we were talking about the other day was there was a Steeler. Who was it? We just talked about it the other day. Went to the Bears for a little while. Anyway, Steeler receiver got a first down. Clock is running. There's like 20 seconds left on the clock. They're trying to make a comeback, and he signals a first down and spikes the ball. And it's like, the clock's running,
right.
Dude. Like, you just ate up time doing that shit.
Oh, Juju.
It was, yeah. And I was like, terrible look.
Right.
You just ate up 5 seconds celebrating a first down when the game's ending.
Right.
So, but it's out of control everywhere. And we kind of talked about it, but you even saw it down on the lower levels.
Yeah, not to be mean, but we have a high school kid who made a couple routine plays and did a monster stomp, and I'm just like, you set the edge and made the stop. Like, that's literally what your job is. That's your job description at that position. And the hit wasn't crazy. He didn't crush the dude.
Right.
He just made a routine play, and he was fired up, but it's like, we're monster stomping around. Now, the other part of me, like, as a coach, we were winning this game 20-0 at one point, and we lost.
Yeah.
So put your monster stomp away and focus on doing what needs to be done.
It almost got a little bit too cocky, and it was kind of both sides because then, we saw part of that comeback you just talked about. One of the running backs of the other team took off on a long run, and he's going to the end zone, and he turns to watch everybody.
Right.
And I was kind of happy to see the opposing coach lit him up on the sideline.
He did. He really did. He got after him, and it's funny you brought this up. I was talking to one of the guys that officiated tonight. I officiated the game Saturday. I was talking to him tonight. And he's like, I hope that player was that coach's kid because he was yelling at him that badly.
It was pretty.
I was like, wow, and I didn't notice it. I was too busy trying to get ready on the special teams coordinator, so obviously we're getting ready for a kick return and all that. But yeah, you said something. A couple other coaches said something, and apparently it was kind of a deal. I saw the turnaround and look, and I wasn't happy. Right. I kind of felt like it was taunting and should have been flagged.
I mean, it's hard because,
but is he watching to see who's behind him?
Right.
But this dude stared at somebody for like 20 yards.
And that's the thing. Like, a quick look, you still kind of want to discourage it, but that quick look so somebody doesn't come up and, like, peanut punch the ball or something. Right. Or, you get horse collared, or maybe you need to jump to the side or something, so you missed that. Yeah. I get it. A quick look. But this guy was, like, behind him running. And it's like, human mechanics, we know it. Most everybody knows it. You're looking behind you, you're slowing down.
You're slowing down, exactly.
So, I don't know, man. And the taunting, we saw it a lot in games over the weekend, college, NFL, high school, all of them. Like you said, routine play. I deflected a pass,
Right.
I
deflect a pass, sword.
Yeah, the sword, the seatbelt.
Yeah,
sit there and stare at the camera thing.
Well, yeah,
all right, man, we got you.
Like you're a defensive back. That is, you're supposed to do that.
Or you catch a 6-yard pass and make it 2nd and 3.
Yeah.
And you're celebrating, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No. I saw earlier. I hit on the first down, but like, if it's 3rd and 32 and you make a first down, by all means,
right?
That's a big play. That's a 30-yard gain. But the routine stuff, I'm just tired of seeing it celebrated like you've never been there before.
It's one thing to have confidence, which I think is important, but it's another exactly what you just said, and that was in my head from some coaches when I was young. Act like you've been there before.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just don't go stupid with the celebrating.
You hit a home run in the 3rd inning of a baseball game. You run the bases, fist pump, celebrate, cool. You hit a walk-off dinger to win the game. Absolutely go crazy. That's a big play. That deserves that. Not in the middle of the third inning, though.
Well, Austin Eckler did it last year. The Commanders were losing by a bit. I think it was like 20 points or something. And it was in the fourth quarter, and they got a first down, and he like flexes and shit.
Flexed, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're losing by 20
Yeah,
points,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
But
It's like, good for you. Like, now what?
yeah,
You know?
that's
Yeah. And the Bears' defensive back, What was he doing?
Yeah.
In a Hail Mary situation, end up losing the game.
Yeah.
Because he's taunting and pumping up the fans. And I don't know. I just think when I see that, and then as a coach at the high school level, I'm seeing that trickle down now, and it's pissing me off. It's like,
yeah.
we're missing fundamentals, we're missing basics, and we care about what the people in the stands see.
And I think at some level, like, it whatever, this kind of justifies it. But if you're going to taunt about those routine plays, you probably ought to be better or be ready for somebody to take offense to that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we talked the other night about Mahomes lowering his shoulder and chipping that defender, and you said immediately afterwards he's getting lit up.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. If you make a routine play, you make a tackle in high school or something, and you're monster stomping, you also play on offense, and somebody's probably going to smack you pretty fucking hard the next time.
Right. Well, I kind of want to hit on the Mahomes thing, so let's take it on to our next segment and go to NFL Week 1.
Okay.
Friday night special for the Week 1, which was cool. Chargers, Chiefs. Mahomes looks like he's going out of bounds. Trucks the defensive back. A total play that is really you don't see that anymore.
Right.
Because the defense has been taught to let up on the QBs who are running out of bounds.
You don't want a late hit.
Right.
And especially, love it or hate it, a quarterback like Mahomes, you're more likely to get called for that.
Oh, 100%. So now, what has this done, opening the door to what the defense is probably going to start doing? Because you're not, like, as a defensive player, if I get trucked like that because I let up, that's in my head. Like, the next time I see you, I'm shooting your knee.
Well, and not only that, but let's say, he should have gone out of bounds. That's where everybody thought he was going, so the defender lets up. He turns and he trucks that defender, and then he runs another 20 yards.
But
now you got to watch for that thing. So, like you said, next time I'm wrapping him up. And,
because you can't fake slide.
Right.
So we got all these rules to protect the quarterback, and Mahomes, who's playing smart, using the rules to his advantage, is bullshit.
It is, and I think in today's NFL, we talk a lot about these quarterbacks and these receivers and these running backs that are getting more yards and stuff than they ever have before. Right. And part of it is that we understand a lot more. There's a lot more information. Right. We have better athletes, better nutrition. Like, I get that. But I also think that you are completely handicapped on how you can play defense in the NFL.
100%. You can't hip drop tackle or leave with the head, spear. A lot of this is better fundamentals. But the way you can hit somebody, it's gone, But, so pretty shocking win for most. I think a lot of people thought the Chiefs were going to win, and Chargers pulled it out with one score. How high up do you want to move the Chargers after that win in your power rankings?
So I think that I had them in the top 10, or at least right outside of it. I had the Chiefs, I think, somewhere around 5. So obviously I think the Chiefs fall. And side note, this is going to be a terrible start to the season because they turn around and play the Eagles next week.
Right.
But I think the Chargers move up pretty damn close to the top 5. I mean, you had the Chiefs lose, you had Detroit lose.
Yep.
They were both up there ahead of the Chargers in my power rankings. I think that you move the Chargers up quite a bit. And Herbert, we both said the Chargers were going to be good. We both said the Chiefs were going to take a step back. But without even great weapons, Justin Herbert had himself a game.
Yes. And that's what I'm looking at right now. I got my rankings pulled up. I had the Chargers at 12.
Yeah.
I could easily put them in a 7-8 spot right now.
Especially when you look at the rest of that division, kind of struggled.
Yeah,
the Raiders lost. The Broncos didn't look as good as I thought they would. Obviously they beat the Chiefs. But that really puts the Chargers in a great position.
Right.
So I think they move up. I think it was a great win for them. I think that the Chiefs didn't look great.
No.
If Xavier Worthy's out for any amount of time,
Too bad Travis Kelce too busy staring up at Taylor Swift in the press box and not running the right route.
Dude, if T Swift could teach him a few touchdown dances, he had some great celebrations. And now I almost sound like a hypocrite because we just talked about this. He had some great celebrations, but now that bowl thing was terrible.
I dug it. I kind of liked it. Just because I thought it brought out a more of a goofy thing.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't a dance. It wasn't nothing. It was just a bull. And it's like, you mess with the bull, you're going to get the horns. Like, you know, I kind of like it. You know, Kelsey's older in the league. And I feel like he's stating that last year was a down year. And they poked the bull and he's coming out.
And I think that's the attitude for the Chiefs this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know that they bounce back this week, but I look for them to still finish strong.
So we skipped over the Thursday night game, Eagles-Cowboys.
Oh, dude.
You know, and what a game that really was.
It was a good game.
Starting with Jalen Carter getting ejected.
Spitgate.
Spitgate. Seconds into the game. I mean, the kickoff and then next play, he's gone.
I would have never expected a University of Georgia player to get ejected from a game.
Yeah, especially not one like Jalen Carter who drag races his friends and then lets them get in trouble.
That game was great, and it would have been even better, like, if not for that fumble, that important fumble where Dallas was in the red zone. That would have been a lot closer game.
Yeah.
And Dak with, the touchdown saving trip. But
right. Or if CeeDee Lamb catches a couple balls that got dropped.
And the thing is, he had so many drops, but he still had a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cowboys looked good, all things considered, but the Eagles, man, you asked me where I move the Chargers in my power rankings. I think the Cowboys move up a little bit, but there's no chance the Eagles fall. Like I said,
none.
You're number one until you're not, and they were very obviously ready for Thursday night.
Yeah. So, and like you said, obviously Thursday this week can be great. What was your favorite noon game on Sunday? We watched several.
So my favorite noon game on Sunday would have to be somewhere between the Jets and the Steelers, which was crazy. And I do want to talk about the end of that game. But Falcons Bucks, man, that was a crazy end of that game.
Dogfight, yeah, it really was. So, Steelers Jets, let's talk about it.
Well, for one, Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields both looked great.
Yeah.
They really did. And the whole teams looked great. DK Metcalf had a good night. Calvin Austin had a good night. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. The stars of those games really showed up.
What?
Maybe not defense.
Yeah.
But
no, the defense, yeah.
The
34-32 final?
Yeah. And I think, obviously Aaron Rodgers did what he did. He got him downfield. Their kicker made a 60-yard field goal to take the league. Awesome. But the end of that game, the Jets had a chance where they're just about in field goal range. And we're watching the last couple of plays. And Fields escapes from the pocket and kind of bootlegs to the left. And he's got open space and throws it out of bounds. And you and I look at each other and we're like, why didn't he take off there?
Right.
Because the whole game he had been.
Right.
He knew when to escape the pressure. He knew when to throw.
And yeah, exactly.
And he's got open field there, and he threw it. So we're like, okay. The very next play, the pocket collapses, and he tries to step through the middle and run, and he's immediately sacked.
Yeah.
We're like, what the hell's going on? Like, he just lost all awareness in the pocket. And then the third down, I think it's 3rd and 3. Or it's 4th and 3, obviously, because they're going to turn it. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
And Fields steps up. The pocket collapses. He steps up. There's a good 6-7 yards in front of him before any defender.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking Fields steps up. He gets those 3 downs. You live to fight another down, right? You convert it. And he turns and he laterals to Garrett Wilson, who's immediately blown up. Game over.
Yeah. I had that line of scrimmage, yep.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking that last drive, he looked like he completely forgot what the hell he was doing.
He looked like the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields.
Yeah. I mean, he's I hate to say it, if he's not a running back, he's one of the most electric runners in the league at times.
Yeah.
And you have a chance at the end of the game, and he acts like he doesn't know how to run.
Right. And you wonder, like, in that kind of environment, how many people are in his ear trying to tell him what to do, what he needs to do.
Yeah.
It's probably got to be hard, your first game as a Jet, trying to figure out what you need to do. Why they kept Garrett Wilson. at the line of scrimmage on that kind of a play,
Yeah.
beyond me. Like
A drag or anything.
yeah,
made more
I would
sense.
want him trying to work open space to get 15, 20, 30 yards, whatever you can get.
Right.
So kind of, I'm with you. Weird play. Falcons, Bucks, Baker
Was,
Mayfield and company.
yeah, I mean, well, and Michael Penix and company. I mean,
Yeah,
they had
more
a
impressive.
phenomenal game. We thought the Bucks were going to come out and just stamp this and
Yeah.
we are the kings of the South, and it wasn't.
No, it was a very back and forth game. We watched the whole third, fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Did we? That we end up doing. And honestly, kind of showed me that Atlanta might be fighting for the NFC South this year.
They might be. I think the end of the game, though, the Bucks did exactly what we wanted them to do
Right.
and establish that they were the top team.
Yes.
I mean, Baker threw a dot into the end zone for that go-ahead touchdown, and then that defense really showed
Yeah.
up for the last drive.
And I think our biggest surprise is our rookie wide receiver getting 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, especially on a team where you have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
And Kate Auden
Godwin
was
did play,
completely.
but-
You're right. And Kate Auden was completely forgotten.
Yeah.
You know.
And Bucky Irving, I don't think he did a whole lot. He was kind of, mid, I guess. But yeah, when you get a rookie wide receiver who always comes from Ohio State, it seems like,
Right.
these guys always produce something. But,
Ohio State U.
right,
Or sorry, wide receiver U.
wide receiver, yeah. But no, I obviously a big fan of Baker Mayfield. Love the way he plays the game, the way he attacks the game. Really didn't expect Atlanta to be that good. And maybe they're not. Maybe it's just first game of the year. Tampa Bay played down. Atlanta came out firing all cylinders kind of thing. But I am kind of curious to see, did they finally figure out how to use Kyle Pitts?
It looked like they did.
I'm like, Jesus. That took you long enough. Could be one of the top tight ends in the league who was always used incorrectly is now getting the touches in the right spots to make him better.
Well, not only him, but Bijan Robinson, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they both had phenomenal games.
They did.
So,
And, you wonder if that's just a product of the offense they're running or if the coaching is actually starting to figure it out. That's to be seen. But, no, I do like that game. Sunday afternoon games, Carolina played, and that was, Carolina might be the worst team in the league now.
well, I will say, if it makes you feel better, there's 3 teams that did not score a touchdown in week 1. The Tennessee Titans, the New York Giants, and the Houston Texans.
Houston, that's huge.
Yeah,
Wow.
3 field goals.
Carolina didn't score. Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, they scored 1. So, see, you're okay. And Chuba Hubbard.
It was
had a great
Jacksonville.
game. Yeah, I know.
I mean,
And
it can be a long season for us Panthers fans.
as lopsided as that game was, the Jaguars didn't play great either.
No, they didn't.
Trevor Lawrence really had a bad day.
Yeah.
And
that
then,
just goes to show you how awful it is when you trade away that many first-round picks and try to build a future and then don't do it correctly. Who would Bryce Young throwing to?
I would assume, Hubbard a lot.
Yeah, and then a
honestly.
bunch of unproven rookies.
Yeah.
Or first, second, third year players. And, I mean, honestly, the offensive line is going to be good. That's a great offensive line. They'll click. It'll be fine. Defense, holes everywhere. No linebackers. No.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough. So, we'll see what happens there.
It will be rough. I do owe an apology to the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah!
Specifically, Danny Dimes.
Everybody owes an apology to Danny Dimes. That dude came out. Granted, it was Miami, who I think I put last in my rankings. But he played excellent. He did everything he had to do.
Historic. I saw that his stat line was one of the best team debuts in NFL history.
Really?
He just really had an incredible night. I'll see if I can find that, because when I saw it, it really speaks to just how good he did. But man, they got out there and they just manhandled Miami.
They did.
And I know that Miami, we didn't feel very good about them either. But here you go. First QB this century to lead his team to points on every possession in a game.
Oh, I saw that. 7 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single possession. First one of the century. Which, okay, we're only 25 years in.
Yeah,
but still.
That's 25 years when you have Drew Brees, Peyton Manning,
Yep.
Tom Brady, all who have played in this century.
Yeah. And you really start to wonder, like, I know we've said it before, but you really start to wonder, was this a coaching issue? You know, you move him out of right. You move him out of the Giants, and the very first game, he takes off. You know, it's week one. You don't want to get too hyped about somebody. You don't want to get too down on somebody. But the fact that, I mean, look, if it's the first time it happens this century, you can get hyped about it.
Yeah.
You know. So I owe them an apology. I had them at the bottom of my power rankings, and I can assume.
I'm just gonna go on a limb here. You know, maybe Peyton Manning wasn't that good if Danny Dimes can do this in the same division.
Oh, jeez. You might be stretching things there. But
all right, my bad. We're going a little too far.
I can only assume that Daniel Jones watched our podcast and took exception to what I said and went out to prove me wrong.
You know what? Honestly, talking about the rest of the division, the Colts might run away with the division this year.
Yeah, the Titans looked terrible. Houston, not a good showing for them. No. Well, we can't count Jacksonville.
Yeah. They beat up on probably one of the bottom 4 teams in the league. So, who'd we have in the 305 games? Would we get Niners?
There wasn't a great in the 305 games. Seattle and the Niners kind of.
No, we went out and played football with the boys for a little while. Yeah, 305 games, 315 games weren't all that great.
Green Bay stomped Detroit.
Yeah, which I wasn't expecting. I thought they'd be a lot closer. Yeah, that was kind of a boring afternoon. Let's just go ahead and jump into
the game of the year.
The game of the year.
The Garage Time game of the week. Don't want to say I told you so, but
I feel embarrassed,
dude.
I went to bed because I thought Baltimore had the game wrapped up.
I don't know that I have ever seen a team have such a great game and lose it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. And first off, I mean, come on. It's great. I love the interaction. Everybody's been commenting on our social media, and it's great. But a couple of people commented on one of our TikToks and said, well, yeah, Buffalo came back. Baltimore sucks. Dude, anybody that sits there and says Baltimore sucks did not watch this game.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Because
there was 41-25.
Yeah.
With what, 4:38 left in the game?
Derrick Henry had 106 or over 100 yards in the first half.
Yeah.
You know.
I went to bed 4 minutes to not scoring 16 points against one of the best teams in the league.
And I will go as far as to say, like, there are 30 other teams that Baltimore would have beat this week if they played them instead of Buffalo.
Probably 31, but yeah.
Well, can't be 31. Buffalo and Baltimore.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You're 30.
But they would have. They would have beat every other team.
Yeah.
And just, I'm telling you, I know you went to bed. I don't know if you've watched replays. Obviously, there was Derrick Henry's fumble, which helped a lot.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen looked like he was in complete control.
Yeah.
He knew where to run. All of his throws were right on target.
Yeah.
At no point did he throw the ball, and I was like, God, that was kind of risky. Like, he just knew exactly where he was going. And that comeback was incredible.
Yeah.
You know? And even the QB sneak, you know, in the land of the tush push where we see all these quarterbacks kind of submarine underneath the offensive line.
Yeah.
Allen went over the top.
Yeah.
You know? And just unbelievable by him. Great game by Baltimore also, but what a game.
Yeah. And you got to wonder, like, you know, they talked about how Lamar might have had the MVP last year over Allen, but Josh Allen ended up getting it. Did this kind of solidify that? Josh Allen is the deserving MVP of the league right now?
I think so because, again, we'll go back to our power rankings. And honestly, if you haven't watched them, go back and watch this episode because I feel like we were pretty okay on most of it.
Right.
You know, we had Baltimore and Buffalo reversed.
Yes.
Right?
You and I did, yes.
Right. And the argument was that Baltimore had more weapons, which makes sense. So the fact that Josh Allen did what he did with the weapons at his disposal kind of makes it more impressive. Plus, we told you that Keon Coleman was going to be a force this year.
Boom!
Guy had a monster game.
He did. On the bench.
On the bench?
Yeah, I was on the bench. I have him drafted in fantasy, and he was on the bench.
Yeah, he had a fantastic game, and he was a huge part of their comeback.
So, one of my fantasy games I won by like 12 points. Zay Flowers, Keon Coleman on the bench.
Yeah, that's rough. Because Flowers had a great game, too.
I would have been one of the leading scorers.
Yeah.
But, yeah, great Sunday night game. Good job to all of you in the pick'ems that picked Buffalo.
Yeah.
I did not. I picked Baltimore.
I wish I had had the courage to do it because I had them higher in the power rankings.
You know, and honestly, we have 18 people or something in our pick'ems right now, and I think like 15 people picked Buffalo.
Yeah.
It was pretty high. So congrats on all of that did it. Thanks for everybody that played. Phenomenal game. Game of the year probably week 1. I don't know how you're going to top that.
I would say that the top 3 in my power rankings don't budge at all because I had Philly, Buffalo, Baltimore. I don't drop Baltimore because of this game.
Yeah, no.
Detroit would have been number 4. Obviously, I'm going to drop them. The Chiefs, I think I had at number 5. Obviously, I would drop them.
You want to move the Chargers up in there, huh?
I think I had the Packers at 6. I don't want to put the Packers in the top 5.
You have to. I mean, they played phenomenal on all phases of the ball.
They dominated Detroit.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would have to put them in the top 5, and then, oh man, I would have to think about where the rest of my...
You didn't save the rankings?
No, and I should have.
You're going to have to go back and get them now.
I would not move Cincy up. I would not move Tampa up. They're both in the top 10, but they shouldn't be in the top 5.
No.
I
can respect you if you wanted to move the Chargers that far. I can respect it. I mean, playing a division rival right out of the gate, winning a tough game on a night you don't normally play a game, I can respect moving the Chargers that far.
Yeah, I think they make a huge jump. And mainly because the teams ahead of them, which, like I said, I know I had Tampa. I know that I had Denver. I know that I had Washington. I know I had Cincinnati. They all won, but not like this.
Hang on a second. You talk about dropping some teams. Is Denver on that watch list right now?
Denver
barely getting by Tennessee.
Because of these other teams, I think Denver falls out of my top 10.
Even though they won.
Yes. Because Detroit doesn't fall all the way out of the top 10, but they fall. Tampa Bay doesn't deserve to be out of the top 10. Cincinnati won a close division game. I'm going to keep them in the top 10. I think Denver falls out.
Yeah, I can respect that. Denver, who is probably a deep playoff run favorite for most people, did not play that well.
No.
Against a team that is one of the lower ranked teams in the league.
Yeah.
They're in the bottom 4, 6, whatever. Yeah, super shocking. End up winning. That's good for them. But they're going to have to play a lot tougher than that. They're going to want to compete in that division.
For sure.
Let's move on. Oh, and
we got to talk about it.
We did get to see old Miss Carrie Underwood.
Oh, yeah.
I missed it from my Snapchat, but they get to see her. So, shout out to my wife. She hates that, so I had to throw it out there.
If we're going to recap week 1, we should probably hit
the Monday Night Football game and the Bears.
Yeah, that was rough.
Honestly, though, epic first drive for Caleb Williams. Yeah. Great first drive.
And up until like the third quarter, the defense for Chicago looked great, especially with missing 2 of our starting backs and one of our starting linebackers. Right. I was like, dude, our defense is stacked.
Yes.
But holy shit, a combination of Chicago hitting a wall offensively and J.J. McCarthy suddenly catching fire.
Yeah, where did J.J. McCarthy come from?
He had a terrible first half.
Terrible first half. 3.5 quarters.
Yeah.
2.5 at least.
And then all at once just figured it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Made a couple passes, got some electric going. Justin Jefferson was silent for a while, and he came out. That running back by committee that they brought out with Jordan Mason and
Aaron Jones had a great fourth quarter.
I mean, that Viking team came alive and basically told the Bears that it was not going to be their night.
And the end of that game, everything from Minnesota catching that ball in the end zone and running it out on the kick return to just the clock management, everything that they did to handle those last couple drives were phenomenal.
Yep.
Like great coaching.
And now I don't want to put too much emphasis on this. It was Ben Johnson's first game coaching this Bears team. He did a lot of good things, but scoring 10 points in the first quarter and then not scoring another offensive point the rest of the game can't happen.
No.
what they need to do, in my opinion, I've watched the whole entire game. Caleb Williams has to take the shot down the field.
Right.
If you check down, I remember saying there, Logan was over 10 for 10 for 86 yards or something. I said, that's not going to fly.
Right.
You're going to bring that defense in. If he can't go deep, he's done. And essentially what happened.
It was. And I think, there's going to be a lot of Bears fans out there and a lot of NFL fans that are going to put this on Caleb Williams. And I don't want to be one of those people, but I will say this. One thing that I noticed in that game is at the beginning, he looked very confident, especially that first drive.
Right.
He wasn't forcing throws. He was accurate. When it wasn't there, he took off and ran for the first down. I mean, he looked really comfortable. Yep. And that was great to see. That third and fourth quarter looked completely shook.
Right.
I mean, I texted you, and I think those last 3 drives, he overthrew every receiver he aimed at.
And then what did he also start doing? Holding that ball way too damn long.
Yep.
Just like he did last year. And it's like, I remember several times, like, dude, check. And he gets sacked or throws it away. It's like, dude, you had 4 or 5 yards right there.
It looked like he started to try to do too much, and he got shook.
Right.
And I don't want to put this whole loss on him, but there was a huge difference between first half Caleb Williams and second half 100%. Caleb Williams.
And I remember texting you this. He was missing his throws. The way he was leading his receivers, he's going to get them hurt.
Well, look what happened to DJ Moore.
Yeah.
You know. And yeah.
That's can't happen.
It can't. No.
So, anyway, we won't harp on it too long. Both of our teams lost in the first week, so whatever. Week 2 is coming up. And have we got a chance to look at the game of the week? Oh, we don't even ask.
No. Yeah, so we do have a winner.
Oh.
I don't think we're going to reveal them here, but we do have a winner for the Week 1 Pick'em. Thank you for everybody that played. They get a $25 Buffalo Wild Wings gift card. And now we move into Week 2.
Yep. We'll be reaching out to the winner here probably within the next couple of days to see how we want to go about getting this. We'd like to meet up with you and get a TikTok and kind of put something on the podcast page for the TikTok page. How that works anyway.
Whatever that is.
Long-winded. But, actually came down to the Monday Night Football points to get the winner. Another buddy of ours and a buddy I went to high school with tied at 14 points plus getting the right pick for the game of the week.
Yeah.
So it came down to total Monday night points.
And it was close.
And it was close. It really was. It wasn't 4 points of each other.
Right.
So those two are right on the money all week, But yeah, interesting to see what Week 2 brings. The Garage Time Game of the Week has to be, I would think, everybody's Game of the Week.
Yeah, and actually, I'm pretty sure they actually labeled it America's Game of the Week for the NFL.
Yeah, so Super Bowl rematch, Chiefs versus Eagles. Where is it?
It's got to be the Game of the Week. And for the record, if not for this, Washington Green Bay probably would have been a great choice. Yeah. But it's in Kansas City.
Ooh, Super Bowl rematch in KC. Oh, I love it. Do they flex it?
They haven't yet. I was just looking at that. I would not be surprised if this gets flexed. It's a 3:30 game, and Sunday Night Football is Atlanta, Minnesota. I'm actually really surprised that that's not the primetime game.
It's still early.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday night now when we're filming this. So it could still get flexed.
Yeah, it could.
I would like to see it get flexed. I don't want to watch Atlanta, Minnesota from Sunday night.
No.
I could give two shits less about that. Considering I think I might have a halfway decent busy weekend. I don't know if I'm going to watch much football. So if they could push that game back to make it easier on me. But let's move on to something a little different that we don't need to talk about. We're going to signal one player out. Derrick Henry and the post that's going around about how going into his 9th year in the NFL, he's still 500 career yards short of his 4-year high school career rushing total.
Yeah. And we really dug into this more, but his high school career, 4 years in high school, and it wasn't a small school.
No.
This guy had 12,600 yards rushing. And, 55? Is that? No, that was just his...
No, it was like 107.
Yeah.
55 was just the senior year.
Senior year, yeah. So, 12,000 yards rushing, and his senior year, he had 4,200 yards rushing and 55 touchdowns.
Yeah. And I don't know, doing the math on that, you were saying he had to run the ball like 40 times a game.
Yeah, and he averaged about 370 yards per game.
Nuts.
It's insane. And it just mind blows you because, again, it wasn't a small school, but you think, for one, dude, unless you're like parents or whatever, that'd be a terrible game to watch. You know what I mean? Like, think about high school.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
One of those games, Derrick Henry carried the ball 52 times.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
You know? Quarterback sitting there like, hey, coach, what if we... No. Hand it to Henry.
Give it to Derrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we're going into the playoffs. Do you think maybe I can start and we can let Henry sit? No. Give it to Henry.
Yeah. This game's over. Nope, Henry.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Looking back on it, it probably sucked. I guarantee you, every person that played around him talks about that.
And you know what? Like,
I blocked for Derrick Henry in high school. I was the one handing him the ball. I was the wide receiver.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Like, they all are talking about how it was to play with a phenomenal player like that.
and you think about it now, it's incredible that he's 9 years in the NFL, that he has all the yards and everything that he does, and no durability concerns.
Right.
Because they used the shit out of him in high school.
Right.
He's been used the shit out of in the NFL. And I was saying the other night, and even my wife said, who, by the way, will be the first to say that she's not big on watching these sports episodes. We were watching the game Sunday night, and she goes, for a big guy, he's really light on his feet.
And he is.
He is. I don't know that I've ever seen the perfect combination of a running back that can literally plow you over or stiff arm you, but also run around you and just light on the foot, change directions,
Right.
run really fast. He is everything you want in a running back. I mean, truly, I can't find a downfall of the guy.
So let's put this into perspective. Kyle got his announcing debut at the high school game. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But in perspective, we had a running back who ran for 296 and 5 touchdowns. And we thought that was amazing.
Right.
And this still was a...
Still not even at Derrick Henry's
Yeah.
average.
Yeah, like, that's hard to just fathom. I can't wrap
It
my head
is.
around it.
It is.
Just crazy stuff.
It's insane. I knew that he was good in high school, but actually hearing the numbers and stuff is insane.
So, if King Henry breaks the single season record, does he retire after the season?
I mean, I think no, because I think for right now, Baltimore still has a window for a Super Bowl, and I don't think he quits on that.
That's fair.
Because they're really a young team. Some of the big pieces, Lamar, Zay Flowers,
Henry.
Roquan Smith, Derrick Henry, they're not really old.
Right.
Yet. And Derrick Henry, I mean, he's over 30, but he's not slowing down.
Yeah.
You
He's
know?
the oldest one that you just
Right, exactly. So
Well, this is why I brought up. I mean, he's 31, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I would look at another stat, like if he breaks Dickerson's record and gets the most season yards, it puts him like the top 7.
Yeah.
He's not going to catch Emmitt Smith.
Probably not.
I mean, that's just so far up there. But another couple years, he could definitely be second.
Well, yeah, and you think about, I mean, obviously this can't be everybody, but when I think about durability, like a running back that had a long career, I think about Frank Gore.
No, you do.
Like, dude
Played for like
just
25
played
years.
forever.
Yeah.
Do I see Derrick Henry doing that? I don't know. But with his workouts and the shape he's in, what if he plays another 5-6 years?
Oh, my.
I mean, honestly,
Then he definitely
what if,
is.
What if he plays till he's 36, 37? And
At that point, I would think he gets it.
yeah,
He breaks Emmitt Smith's record. I mean, and to be able to witness that would be awesome. I
mean-
remember being in junior high when Emmitt Smith did it.
right.
And now here I am in adulthood. You get to watch it again? Like, sign me up, Yeah, so is King Henry the new best running back, or is Saquon still holding that candle over him?
I
Or
don't
does
know.
King Henry run for 3,000 yards behind that Eagles offensive line?
Right, and that's the thing, because Baltimore, he gets these numbers, but they still have a ton of weapons.
Yeah.
And
Well, so done the Eagles.
I mean, A.J. Brown didn't get shit for yards the other night, but
Well, that's just kind of what we used.
right. I don't know. That's a tough debate. Saquon versus Derrick Henry. Both of them wasted a few years on a bad team.
Yeah.
So you factor that in too.
That's true. That's fair.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a hard one.
All right. Well, let's move it on to the GTR this week. Obviously, you got to talk about them. The Cubs are playing right now. Have you checked the score lately?
Yep, they won 6-1 against the Braves.
Okay.
So we'll have the rubber game tomorrow.
So we're at 82 games now. We've won.
82 and 63.
So we're definitely getting 500. We're
Yep.
actually going to be over that by one game. And then, obviously, a Cubtober is creeping up,
We're still first in the wild card.
which is crazy because we are 8 games out of the division.
We're 3.5 games up on San Diego.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So
Milwaukee's playing that good,
yeah,
like we said they were going to.
right.
Pitching's been actually the better part still down the stretch. Cade Horton looks like a whole new man.
Had a whole nother great night tonight.
I don't know what's going on there. Love it. Wish Ben Brown would do the same, but we'll take what we can get.
Right. I did see they put Tucker on the 10-day IL. That sucks.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough. Actually, you know what? With the September call-ups and signing the people we have, maybe a good break, and he comes back hot for the wild card or the playoff push.
Better to play it safe, I think.
No, I'm good with that. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on the Cubs. Not gonna talk too much about them because it's football season.
Right. I 100% focused on football now, but the Cubs are right there. I'm hoping. Looks like we should have a Cubtober, and man, I hope we find some of that early season energy.
Oh, we're gonna need it to go far.
But
let's go into sports. That's what our local team is, and Kyle got his debut.
yeah. Okay.
Anyway, technical difficulties again.
Again, here we go.
Oh, we'll figure it out someday. Maybe not. Who knows? We do not have a glamorous team to help us out with this stuff.
Yeah.
So he is the team.
Yeah.
This guy.
You can blame me on that one.
Anyway, you had your announcing debut.
Dude, it was awesome.
So I get we're actually in the office and they'll talk about it. They don't have anybody to announce. And I'm like, that buddy that does the podcast with me will probably do it. And everybody just looks at me. I'm like, nah, it's all right. He'll do it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get it. So then I thought we were joking. So I texted the athletic director. I'm like, hey, if you didn't find anybody, Kyle will do it. And he's like, well, who's that? And I'm like, well, you know this guy.
You've met me before, dude.
And I hear nothing. So I'm like, all right, they found somebody else. And then, Friday, I think they finally get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Hey, tell Kyle he can do it and be there at 12:30. And the rest is history. Like, tell us about it, man.
Dude, it was great. I nervous at first. I've done I won't say a lot. I've done some pretty big public speaking. I'll say that. I think that's safe to say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But in all of those situations, I have written a speech or I have something in front of me. And what I had in front of me for this was like nothing at all. So I was a little bit nervous, spur of the moment. Huge football fan, coached football, love football. I felt like I was okay with it, but super nervous. At first, a little rocky, only because there wasn't a whole lot of direction with like what the band was doing, when they were playing the anthem, stuff like that. But once the game started, dude, it was awesome. Like, got into it. I felt like I was interacting with the crowd. I tried to find people in the crowd that I was actually speaking to over the intercom. Mm-hmm. Like, at one point I was like, hey, go get snacks and ask Jameson where he got his nachos. And he looks up like, what?
Yeah.
And, got the crowd fired up on third down and touchdowns and first downs. A lot of people said that the crowd was more fired up in this game than they've been in a long time, and I'm proud of that. They responded well. I mean, I was starting to do live commentary, instead of just recapping the play that just happened. I looked over at Dwayne and I was like, dude, if you need me to quit talking, I will, because I don't want to ruin your radio broadcast. And he's like, just keep going, and it was great. I would love to do this more. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to do JV. I was asked about a couple games. The only bad thing about JV is I would have to leave work 2 hours early, and my boss told me today that I'd have to make up those 2 hours later in the week, which would mean driving to Macomb for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I would say play that in by ear.
Yeah.
See how it goes. Yeah. I can't blame you on that one. No, I heard a couple of things. Obviously, very engaged with coaching, but I thought you did great. Um, the only thing I think you messed up was the fourth down, not third down, but
Yeah.
a lot that wasn't even on you. Scoreboard was wrong. There was a penalty, so a lot going on there early in the game too. So, no, I was pretty impressed with it. I thought you did good. You into it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
So,
So,
uh, I'm glad I volunteered you to do it.
yeah. I think the
And then you
only.
got paid, which you
I
didn't.
know, I didn't know I was going to get paid,
I
which
didn't
is
know that
awesome.
either. Felt like I should get half of it, but it's whatever.
Right. I haven't even cashed that yet, so.
Oh, it's a check even.
Yeah, it's a check.
Better frame it.
Right. I think the one thing that the one thing that really flopped, because for the most part, everything that I tried to get the crowd involved in, I was like, it's third down, make some noise, and they're cheering and stuff, and Spartans touchdown, and everybody's cheering. At one point during halftime, I'm trying to fill in space, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, as most of you notice, I am not Arnold. Like, I'm just an alumni holding a microphone. And I was like, if we have any alumni, stand up, you know? Nobody stands up. And I'm looking around like I know people went to school in Bushnell and not
They're
a
calling them
single
out.
person stands up. And I literally just said over the microphone, I was like, I guess we're not proud of that. Let's move on. And I just like went on. I was like, well, that flopped. But the whole thing was great. And being the first home game, knowing some of the kids that were down on the field, knowing basically all of you coaches, hearing the radio broadcast on both sides, the coaches speaking, it was great. And it was a beautiful day for football.
Oh, it was.
Like 70 degrees and sunny. So
Perfect freaking weather.
yeah, it was fantastic. Like you said earlier, the collapse was rough.
Yeah,
Um,
it was. Just to reiterate on that, yeah, we did lose our game, but you know, we are a young team. We have one senior who's our quarterback, two or three juniors, and the rest are freshmen and sophomores.
right.
A lot of those guys had, post COVID, trying to revamp our younger youth programs to be into tackle football, so they don't have 4 or 5 solid years of all that stuff. As well as, it gets everybody around. But, so they're coming in good. There were some great freshman plays. I had several people ask me about, who's number 12, who's the pulling guard, and those were both freshmen people were asking about. And that's honestly awesome.
Yeah.
It is good that, they're doing good things. They're doing the correct things and people are noticing it, Bright future, a very, very bright future for us.
Yeah. I think there are definitely good things to come. So, and, great game overall.
Yeah.
Just
Good atmosphere.
Yeah.
But in other Spartan news, JFL finally gets to play their first game this week.
yes. Yep. We have our first game Saturday. And I think 7th grade tomorrow night, right?
7th and 8th grade plays tomorrow night down in South Fulton.
Yeah.
And so I'm picking my kid up at baseball practice and we're going straight to a football game.
Nice.
He's probably been wore out. Don't know if he can be any good. We'll see. Whatever. He's played 2 baseball games the last 2 nights, a football game tomorrow night, and another baseball game Thursday night. So long week for him. Super happy. Also, his birthday. He got to play baseball on his birthday again this year.
That's always cool.
And that's one of his favorite things to do. So, shout out to him for that. But, no, I'm looking forward to this. I actually was going to try to announce your JFL game, but Shane's already got it. So,
Oh, okay. Well,
dang it. No.
Yeah, that sucks.
So,
but-
whatever. It's fine. I'll probably still go and be there and support, See how the younger group comes up.
Yeah, it's good for you, right?
But exactly,
So-
make sure that coaches are teaching them the proper things that we need. I'm really just excited to see, Luke, who I've known the last few years, see how he does in his first tackle football game, as well as Jameson and all those kids. And I really want to see how Bryson and his buddies do for their 7th grade season. So overall, I think it can be a good week. Not looking forward to Friday night.
Yeah.
The high school team traveled to Amboy, who played twice last year, and they were back-to-back state champs. So,
That's going to be rough.
yeah, it's going to be rough. 2.5 hours one way.
And it sucks because, start your season with polo, and then the heartbreaking loss last week, and then Envoy.
Yeah.
That's a rough start to the season.
It is. On the other side of that, we have Galva and Peoria Heights the next 2 weeks after that. Both of those games should be won. One of those is homecoming. So there's a bright spot coming up, and
Yeah.
can't wait to get to it.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, uh, Bentley starting basketball. Does that start this week?
Not this week.
Next week.
Soon though. Yeah.
Next week. So, you're gonna be following junior high girls basketball around here shortly,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll be fun. And then, we'll be done with baseball probably this week if we lose our regional. So junior high baseball will be done, and we'll just be doing the JFL with the Spartans and junior high basketball coming up in October.
Yeah.
So,
Be good.
yeah. Not exactly sure how the high school volleyball team is doing. I heard they are better than they were last year.
That's good.
So that's good. They're competing in games instead of just losing everything. So that's always good. They do have new coaches, so that's always a little different when that happens.
Yeah, something to build on for sure.
I think I'm excited to see where that future is going. So let's get a quick rundown of the top 4 college games this weekend. What do you
Okay.
got?
I'm going to give you number 1 on my list, Georgia, Tennessee.
Yes, I saw that one. Definitely
Huge
probably
game.
the best game of the weekend.
Yep, I think that's probably the game of the weekend. Also, low key could be a really good game. Alabama, Wisconsin. Wisconsin is not ranked. Alabama is 19.
Depending how Wisconsin comes out, I can agree with that one.
Yep, trying to save their season. Alabama loses that game. I think they're,
That at the Saturday night game, right? 7:30 game.
Yes.
So
Yep.
Georgia, Tennessee plays at like 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so decent slate in the afternoon there. Yep.
I think that'll be good. I do think. Where was it that I just saw? I do think that Florida LSU could be good. Florida's got to bounce back from the upset of the week.
Of the week, yep.
Yeah.
Last week, yep.
If they have any hope of doing anything this season, they've got to bounce back. And LSU is ranked number 3 right now, so they've got to make a statement. Yeah, that could be
Been
a good
bit since they've
game.
been like that high.
And then I think if you're going to, number 4 is going to be either, most people would probably say Texas A&M and Notre Dame, a 16 and an 8, and that's a pretty good game.
That's not terrible.
I would replace it with Ole Miss and Arkansas.
Ooh.
Both of them are undefeated. Both SEC. Go ahead and say it. I don't care.
SEC bias!
Ole Miss is ranked low, and Arkansas is not. But
Could they flip-flop the rankings then? That what you're thinking?
that's what I'm thinking. They could flip-flop rankings. Arkansas can build a season here. Ole Miss can start to build a season. I mean, this is a must-win for both of them, I think.
And I like how Ole Miss is good after losing their star quarterback to the draft. Jackson Dart, who's now in New York. So
I think
no,
that
I'm with you on most of those. That Saturday slate is pretty decent, to be honest with you.
it is. Yeah,
It's not bad.
probably won't watch a lot of it, unfortunately, because of with JFL and everything. But
Right.
yeah, should be a few good games there, and then I'm hoping that moving into next week with week 4 and stuff, we really start to see some of these big games.
They should. It'll be passed because they kind of flip flopped the schedule for college this year and did a lot of ranked games week 1, which they don't typically do.
Right.
And then have done the last 2 weeks of playing all the other beater games. So then now I'm thinking with you, week 4 we should start to see that switch.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for it.
Me too. Really get into the meat of college football season. So
Pretty pissed off that Iowa lost to Iowa State last weekend.
yeah, that did suck.
Probably not getting much of us this year.
You never know. It's kind of up for grabs in a lot of ways this season. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah, it should be a pretty good day of college football,
It
though,
should.
and more ahead of us. But, not to keep bouncing back to it, but the NFL, there was one thing that you really wanted to talk about. We watched this game together, and I remember thinking, there's no way they're going to do this. There's no way they're going to do this.
What were they thinking moment of the week?
And then they pulled it off. So, go ahead. What was it? Halftime.
So the Chiefs, with time expiring going into the halftime, 10 seconds left on the clock, run out there, set up in perfect formation, and kick a 58-yarder.
Yeah.
So a 58-yard field goal. And what I want to talk about here, the execution on this, usually what were they thinking is something stupid or dumb. This is highly intelligent.
Very.
Andy Reid is practicing this.
executed so well. The moment that the receiver caught the ball, that entire offense is running off the field and special teams is coming on.
And what I liked the most is it wasn't the kicker, the center, or the placeholder that ran out with the ball. It was a tight end.
Yeah.
He came out with the ball and put it down.
Yeah.
So that everybody else could get set.
And really, I mean, props to Budker because he did not get set hardly at all.
No, I mean, it was boom.
Just really planted that foot and then went into his motion.
Yeah.
So, and booted a 58-yarder with no doubt.
Right. And very phenomenal play. Yeah. Like, the intelligence, the grit, determination, all of it to execute this as flawlessly as they did.
Yeah.
I mean, to think about you ran 25 to 30 yards onto the field, got set, hold your block, made the play in 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Like that's unheard of.
With the clock running.
Yeah.
Just absolutely incredible. And yes, because somebody on Facebook will say it, or YouTube or wherever, they did lose the game. But just being able to execute this was insane.
Yeah, I don't care that they lost the game. That's not what we're trying to prove here.
Right.
And if that's what you want to prove, then whatever. You're just hating. As a sports fan, as a coach, as a fanatic of all sports, this is right here the stuff you live for. Like, that is something that you can't, like, you can teach it obviously, but you just have to know. Like, you have to have an IQ of sports. You have to know what you're doing. Which, if you're in the pros, obviously you have the IQ and all that. But the fact that Andy Reid has ran this in practice, that's nuts. Like,
well, and Buffalo did something very similar on Sunday night.
Did they?
Yes. Sorry, you'd already gone to sleep.
Oh.
Very similar. Clock's winding down. They're obviously trying to make this epic comeback, and they did kind of a fire sale too, where they ran off. The only difference is it was like receiver caught it, rushed to the line, Allen spiked it, then they ran off.
Oh, okay.
But it was still a very quick hurry up thing. The difference there is that Tyler Bass had time to get set because of the spike, whereas Butker didn't. But still, just the fact that we're working in how do we do this quick field goal.
Right.
And that can be game changer.
Oh, good. 100%.
Look at several of these games that would have been changed with a field goal.
Right.
Falcons, Bucks, Bears, Vikings would have been overtime. Dallas, Philly,
Cleveland,
Cincy, Buffalo, Baltimore. I mean, a lot of these games would have been different with just 3 points one way or the other. So.
And I really think that's something to talk about is how you hear a lot of these coaches going to that next level of strategy and it just changing the game.
And it's even, we used to, and we still talk about that 2-minute offense. How do you score in the last 2 minutes of the half?
Right.
And so many quarterbacks are good at it, but we're looking at 20-second offense.
Right.
I mean, these guys are just getting it done in such a quick amount of time.
Exactly.
It's incredible.
Right.
So.
And, obviously a great first half there to end, or a great ending to that first half, fun to watch. But at the end, Chargers did walk away with it. Honestly, a great week one in the NFL.
It really was. I think very, very good games for the most part. You're always going to have some that were kind of snooze fest, but really a great week one. So,
yes.
On to week two.
How did your fantasy team turn out? I beat Kyle this week.
It was closer than I thought it was going to be.
What?
It was closer than I thought it was going to be. Justin Jefferson having the fourth quarter that he did really made that closer because it was like a 5-point game.
So going into Monday night, I had you by what? 18?
Yeah, like almost 20 points.
And I had T.J. Hawkinson. He had JJ, and in the end, I prevailed.
It was like a 5-point game. It was close. Yeah. The one thing that saved you is you had Hawk, and he was catching passes too. Yeah. So, and like you said, A.J. Brown, if he hadn't dropped 0 points, completely different game. Yeah. But I survived the Eliminator League we're in.
Yeah.
So there's that. Great game there. Actually, the game that I lost to you by those 5 points were the only game that I lost over the weekend.
So I went 4-1 in fantasy this week. Terrible in pick'ems. So, won a bet Friday night.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I went 3-1. 3-1.
There
The
you
only
go.
one I lost was you. So one of my leagues didn't start yet. We drafted we drafted Thursday, and I didn't think about it, but it doesn't start till week 2. So
Oh,
I hurried up and set my lineup, and then nothing happened.
well, anyway, follow us on socials: TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, wherever else. Be on the lookout for week 2 recap coming up next week. And until next time.
It's garage time.